Hey everyone, I'm Ellie and today I want to talk to you guys about homesickness. One of the best things about LSE is that the university has such a diverse student body, but that means that homesickness will be different for everyone because there are students who've moved to 5 different countries throughout their lives, and there's also students like me who had never even moved out of their hometown before coming to London. But the amount of times that you've moved before should really determine whether you're allowed to feel homesick or not, so don't worry about that. It's a really normal feeling and I'm pretty sure that the majority of us definitely experience it to some extent. When I came to university, I had been in lockdown for 6 months and then in a 2-week quarantine with my mom. So by the time it was all over, I was so excited to start my university experience, meet everyone, become independent. But when I was alone in my hall room for the first time after my mom had left, I felt so lonely and overwhelmed, and this is where my homesickness started. I hope that by sharing my experience and the 3 main things I learned, I can help you guys along the way. So first of all, be honest, also the people you don't really know yet. I know it's really hard, and for me it took me a lot of courage to finally speak up about it and tell people that I'm homesick, because I just assumed that I would probably be the only one, which was in the end not true, because I realized that more than half of the people I talked to were actually in the same boat as me, and that surprised me so much because I literally didn't see any one person who I thought, oh, they seem homesick. And that was the same for me actually. Every time I was around my friends, I was so excited and grateful to be in London and just happy to meet everyone. So obviously I would also not really seem homesick. So that's something that you should keep in mind. Really, you have to talk about it. In the end, you have to remember that it's nothing to be ashamed of. It feels really hard to speak up about it, but in the end, it's a win-win situation because you'll feel better and the other person will either relate or they can support you, and you can bond over that. I promise you that homesickness fades. In the end, you will fall in love with London, and London will become the place that you will become homesick of if you go home. So don't worry about it. London is an amazing city. The architecture is so nice. The parks are so cool too. So really don't worry about it. It's going to be all okay, but the first step is to talk about it. Another tip that I want to share with you guys is actually a tip that I learned while being honest, because in Freshers Week we had a lot of Zoom meetings with our department, and one of them we were put into a breakout room with 1 professor and 3 students, and our professor really wanted to check in with us, and she was like, oh, how are you guys really doing? How are you really? Are you actually happy? And I was having such a bad day. I was so overwhelmed by everything and also super exhausted because I was in quarantine for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden I was walking 10 kilometers every day and just meeting so many people that I was just physically and mentally just exhausted. And I started crying on the Zoom call. It was a very weird situation at first, but in the end, it was so nice. She was so supportive, and also the other students reacted in a really nice way. So I felt really welcome there, and she gave me an amazing tip that I want to share with you guys too, so shout out to Yet, thank you so much for being so supportive. She gave me the tip, which is that every morning you should schedule a call with someone from home while walking through your new neighborhood, because apparently mornings are a time where you're more likely to feel homesick because you have the whole day in front of you and maybe a lot of tasks to complete, or maybe you don't have anything to do and you're whoa, what am I supposed to do? Where are my friends and all that? So if you have something in the morning where you can explore your surroundings, so become more familiar with an unfamiliar place while talking to someone you're really familiar to and that you actually miss, it's really a good combination. And it was so nice for me. I would just walk around, grab a coffee. And this importance of familiarity also brings me to my last tip, which is to get a routine, because it all has to do with familiarity. Homesickness is not only about missing your mom or your best friend or your pet, it's actually also about missing your old life. You're being put into this new atmosphere, into this new place, and no matter how grateful you are, no matter how much you want to be there, there's still a certain uncertainty that you can't eliminate immediately. So by getting a routine, you get used to the place. You get used to always going to bed at that time, or having the same easy breakfast every morning, scheduling a certain time to call your family, or just doing things in a similar way for a few weeks will really help you get accustomed to London. And don't worry, this is not the routine that you have to keep forever. You can throw it away after a few weeks, but for me, it really helped me to do certain things similar every day, because that just made me more comfortable in my surroundings, and it made it just feel like home, and that's what it's supposed to be. So to sum it up, make sure to be honest. You can talk to your hallmates, your classmates, your academic mentor. It's literally their job, so don't be ashamed to tell them about it. And then also LSE has a counseling service where you get 6 appointments for free every year. So you can talk to them about homesickness or any other concerns you have. My second tip was to schedule those calls and make sure you explore those areas. Also, make sure to explore those areas with your friends and your hallmates. Like, just let everyone tag along. Obviously not by talking to your family, but like, you know, in general, explore it with your friends. It's so nice, and you will really fall in love with London. And then the last tip was to get this routine to become more familiar with your new life and reduce this uncertainty. So don't worry about it, it's going to get better. So I really hope that you guys are going to get over homesickness soon, and I hope this video helped a little bit, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!